This tutorial is about the top 3 ways U.S. English sounds are spelled in running text. Running text means such as your newspaper, and the data is from Truespel Book 4, which looks at the top 5,000 words and the number of times those words are found. There are 15.4 million times. So here are the phonemes, sounds. There's 40 of them for USA English. And there's the first way, second way, and third most prevalent ways that they are spelled. In Truespel Book 4, you'd see that there are 6 top ways. So not all of these are going to add up to 100%, especially the vowels. The first sound, they're listed alphabetically, is the A sound. You see the Truespel tilde. It means it's a phoneme spelling of a phoneme. And that's as in bat. That's the sound A, as in bat. And that is the most consistent vowel spelling of all. About 100% of the time, when you hear the A sound, it's spelled by the letter A. The Ah sound, mostly spelled by the letter O, takes up 100% of the spellings. The A sound, as in Sunday, is spelled with a silent E most of the time. Second most spelling is AY, and the third most spelling is the letter A itself. Air, the sound of A with the R next to it, kind of changes the phoneme a little bit from an A or an A to an air. And the most prevalent way of spelling that is E-R-E, such as in the word there. Also, AR, 20%, EIR, that's another there word, 17%. The sound aw, as in auger, most of the time spelled by an A next to an L. For instance, the word all, A-double-L. Also is found with the letter O and O-U-G-H. We get into the consonants. The B, very consistent. CH is usually spelled with a CH sound, but a T as in T-I-O-N is prevalent, and catch, words like catch, has a TCH. The D, that's a very common spelling with a D, with a D. The short E, as in men, is spelled with the letter E 77% of the time, but also you can find it with an A or an EA. E sound, as in meat, is spelled mostly by the letter E alone. Also, the ending letter Y spells it quite a bit, and the letter I spells the E sound. As in her, is spelled ER 60% of the time, OR 19% of the time, and UR 7% of the time. Fair, usually spelled F sound, usually spelled with the letter F, but PH 2% and GH. G, the hard G, as in good, 98% of the time is with the G, but you have X, sometimes spelling the hard G sound as in, example, as in hat, 94% of the time is H, 6% of the time is WH. And in that case, WH is, I take it as always making the sound, not the a special sound. Short I, as in hip, 63% of the time is with an I, but it also can be an E or an I-O. The I sound, as in die, It's usually spelled with the letter I, and that is most prevalent in the word I. But it's often spelled with a silent E. That indicates a silent E. And with a Y. J, as in jet, is mostly spelled with a G. And sometimes with a J, and even with a D, as in education. K, as in kip, most often spelled with a C, then a K, and then an X, as in excel. The L and the M sound, lift, and men, 100%. The N, net sound, 99%, and there's also the KN, as in knit. The O sound, as in toe, usually spelled with an O. Could be an OW or silent E. Oi, as in point, 62% of the time with OI and 38% of the time OY. The sound, as in good. Here it is 28% AL, and what happens there is it's usually an ending, such as in principal or feral or focal, usually OOL, as in wool. 28%, double, the LE ending. Double, triple, that's the OOL. And OUL as well sometimes. OR, as in form, usually spelled with 59% OR, or could have an E attached, or OUR. OW, as in out, 69% OU, 31% OW. P, as in pop, is 100%, as well as as in run, 100%. Sun, S, as in sun, 83% S, also with a C or an X. The sh sound is in shed, 51% SH, but then you have the TION endings and the CION endings. T, as in tie, I have 100% ST. Oftentimes a T at the end of the word is glottalized, and oftentimes it, like in the word butter, it's pronounced butter. It's pronounced as a D. We're not going into that. TH, as in the and thin. You have the voiced TH, the, and the unvoiced thin. Both of them are spelled with the letters TH, but we are differentiating here in the spelling to get the sounds right. The sound spelled with the letter U, as in up. This is said strange because the letter E is said to pronounce that sound, spell that sound the most, and basically this comes from the word the. And the, THE, E spells the sound there. Otherwise, it is often spelled by A and O and other letters as well, the sound. Oo, as in blue, is most often spelled by the letter O. You wouldn't think so, but this is due to the prevalence of the word to, T-O, 55%, and the word U, Y-O-U, spells the U sounds, often spelled by the letter U as well. And there are others. V, as in vat, 53% of the time it's the letter V, and because of one word, the word of, it is spelled by the letter F. If of were spelled with a V, this would be a consistent 100%. The W sound is in wet, is 70% with W and WH. And sometimes the word none is put here because sometimes the W is in a glide, meaning that it's not spelled with a letter at all, but it is pronounced, but not spelled. Trying to think of a word, but I can't right now. The Y sound, the Y sound as in yet, most of the times the Y sound is another glide, and it's 55%. Mute, it's spelled M-U-T-E without a Y. So you can see that that Y creeps in there quite a bit. It's often spelled by the letter Y, sometimes the letter I. Z as in zap. This is interesting. The sound Z is most often spelled by the letter S. 98% of the time, and that's because of plurals. Often the sound Z comes from spelled by an X or by a Z. Vision. This sound does not have a consistent spelling. It's spelled by an S most of the time, je, or by an X or a G, but that does not look like any of these letters. So that's a typical way of spelling the je sound. And so 40 sounds for American USA English, and we go through the most prevalent spellings of those sounds.